Daredevil Born Again, when it was announced that they were bringing back Charlie Cox, bringing back Vincent D'Onofrio, not just for their little one-off roles in these other shows, but actually for a Daredevil series, and that it would be a direct tie-in and follow-up to the Netflix shows. There were some people out there that were excited because, hey, they like those actors, they like those characters, but there was also a lot of people out there that were very hesitant for fear of what the MCU would do to these characters. We've already seen how Kingpin got treated in the couple appearances he's made in the Hawkeye and Echo series, the way Charlie Cox Daredevil was treated when he came back for She-Hulk. Well, now Daredevil Born Again is finally here. And I gotta admit, I listen, I watched the first 2 episodes. I think it's very mediocre. And when compared to the Netflix series, it doesn't hold a candle. Now, it's only 2 episodes. I think the 3rd episode either came out last night or is coming out tonight, something like that. So 3 episodes will be out rather soon. But ultimately, I see a lot of red flags about bad ways the series could go. I think there's a way they could go where I might think, oh, that's a solid show. Certainly will never hold a candle to the Netflix series based on what I've seen so far. But it looks like a lot of people just had no fucking interest. Because look at this. Disney's Daredevil Born Again got a solid start. Its first episode gathering 7.5 million views worldwide in the 5 days after its March 4th premiere. Big number, 7.5 million. Well, it's only big if you have something to reference it to. And the idea that, as they say here, became the most watched premiere of Disney Plus of the year so far. We're 2 months in to the year by the time this premiered on March 4th. And also, they've premiered effectively nothing of notoriety on Disney Plus in those 2 months. So much like they bragged about for these other shows, that's not impressive at all. And you can tell it's not impressive when you actually start to get into these details. Daredevil Born Again launches with 7.5 million views on Disney Plus. So that is the total stream time divided by the runtime. Disney does not regularly release viewership information about its streaming shows, so exact comparisons are difficult. But they talk about Paradise, Sterling K. Brown's drama Paradise, 7 million views, first 9 days on Hulu and Disney Plus. But this is the more worrisome comparison. The first episode of fellow Marvel show Agatha All Along hit 9.3 million views in its first week. Now that's 5 days versus 7 days. But when you consider that the majority of it's going to kind of be up front, and you even got those weekend numbers in there for Daredevil, when you're talking about that 5-day viewing number, it's probably tracking just a little bit less or right on par with Agatha All Along. That is a huge fucking disappointment for them, because this is a follow-up to one of the most beloved superheroes on screen, that project that we've ever seen in Netflix's Daredevil series. This is supposedly a tie-in. This is a follow-up to that. And you couldn't even match Agatha All Along. And not only that, it's well behind the miserable, huge failure known as The Acolyte.
Yeah.
The Acolyte, 11.1 million views in this same time frame. So it's tracking 3.5, 4 million views behind The Acolyte. Now, are there some things that could go into that, like the rating? I guess maybe if you want to try to make excuses. But this should have been a highly anticipated premiere, and it only got 7.5 million views, which tells me that, one, people aren't tuning into fucking Disney Plus at all. People are tired of this shit from Marvel. People don't trust Marvel. This is an abominable start for them. This is horrific. Worse than they probably ever could have expected.
They really have no one to blame but themselves. They have put out so much content that is terrible and destroyed brands such as Star Wars and Marvel ever since. I mean, you could question like Endgame. They had a couple hits here and there, these standalone films like Spider-Man, Deadpool, and Wolverine. But everything else, a lot of stuff on Disney Plus, it's just terrible. And people, they just don't trust Disney to handle anything with respect or anything that came before it. Everybody knew this was not going to be like a Netflix show because it's Disney. So they were like, I don't even know if I should even bother, turning into it. But again, like you said, a lot of people have turned away from Disney Plus, so they don't even have access to it. And the Punisher's coming up next. So you wonder if anybody's even gonna watch that. The Punisher has like a standalone show or something that's coming out.
Well, he's going to be introduced later this season at some
Right.
point. You saw the Punisher marks on the bad cops and everything. So that's one of the red
Yeah, they're
flags that I think could make this season go really fucking
massive
terribly.
flags. They're gonna talk about his symbol. So it makes me wonder if they're gonna like get rid of the old symbol, the correct symbol of the Punisher, and put that weird one in that we saw in the comic books. Because they're trying to steer away from that. That is a kill sentence for that show if they do that. Very stupid, but it's hard to trust this company when they can't get anything right, it seems, as of late, where they think that they know better than the consumer. They put out stuff in the name of diversity and inclusion, and expect people to enjoy it and clap their hands and say everything is great when it's not. It sucks. So why watch it? Why bother watching it when it's like, well, I guess maybe you are waiting to hear what other people are saying. Who knows? So I'm wondering like what the Netflix numbers were. I guess we don't have those
That was
as
also
far.
a different era. Like it would be impossible to even right now to compare those because one, Netflix has probably 200 million more subscribers than they
True.
had when Daredevil first aired on that platform and all those things. So I don't even know if it'd be worth really comparing, but um, the
I mean,
idea that this got this significantly less than something like Acolyte and is not even tracking on par with Agatha all along, a direct Marvel comparison from last year.
yeah.
This is like worst case scenario for them.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, they already nerfed the Kingpin in the Hawkeye TV series, so
And
everyone was,
Echo.
yeah. Was that what it called? X? I can't even remember.
Well, Hawkeye and Echo.
That's how memorable those shows were. And I don't remember the last Marvel Disney Plus series I watched. I never finished Loki. I didn't see any of the Captain America one because it was out. And then yeah, so that's pretty much it. And what do they expect, man? What do they expect? They've damaged the brand. Nobody has faith in them anymore. And then we had Captain America come out, which was just a Falcon movie where he wore red, white, and blue. You know, thinking that was going to be great, but here we are.
Yeah, it definitely looks like apathy is kind of I mean, it has been setting in for a while, but I expected divided reviews, but I expected a bigger number here from the idea that people knew who it was. They used him to draw people in, and it didn't work.
Do you think Daredevil is just maybe because Daredevil is a lesser known character that wasn't in the films? He made a guest appearance in the Spider-Man movie, but
you can make those excuses, but he's better known than fucking Agatha, right?
correct.
But
Excellent
you know what I
point.
mean? Like
Excellent point. Excellent point.
yeah, like you can make that excuse. You can talk about, oh, well, the rating may have kept some people away. And, Daredevil, as beloved as the series is, maybe not that, but we're comparing it to fucking Agatha Harkness.
Great point.
Like,
I was just trying to see like what kind of excuse they're gonna run.
It's a disaster.
Run for this.
Um,
Yeah, when you come in below the Acolyte, that is something.
yeah.
This is not even gonna rank on the top 10, is it?
Who knows? Obviously, 7.5 million. When you look at watch time, it might be a different story, right? Because 7.5 million views. I think the first episode was like an hour long, whereas Agatha all along, it felt like those episodes were like 30 minutes. It felt like they were half as long. So, from a viewership standpoint, it might pull in more minutes watched, like significantly more minutes watched than Agatha, even if it doesn't match its total view total. But I don't know.
Not looking good there, buddy.
Yeah.
Not looking good.